welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, currently in Journey. What was placed in at Journey's Head, and we just received a message from Cashier that Lady Chai is in distress. Lady Chai is up in the parlor. Best not keep her waiting, huh? Well, Nautier seems to be out of the ordinary, though I do not see Lady Chai anywhere. Probably pacing around outside again, staying off into the distance, all that, sighing. Strange. Let's see if we can find her and discover the source of her distress. I don't see her here. So, let's look outside. And there she is.
Oh, thank heavens you're here.
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
But that is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
What? What happened?
It all began after the events at Mount Gulg. With Lord Vorthry out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
Makes sense.
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see.
Nobody wants to take a job.
After a lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is trying enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well? No one wanted such responsibility.
Okay, now I accidentally skipped the voicing of a line. Because telephone interrupted me, I stopped the recording, and when I tapped back into the game, it automatically continued. Nevertheless, Yuma could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate. And after we cast our ballot and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear husband.
Well, given the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant Talos, none could deny his leadership qualities.
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He is more than qualified for the role. The perfect choice. Indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced. But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee?
I don't think so.
Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
You truly think so? What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
I think he went to work. Honestly? I think he went to work. he started working in that mayor thing.
And there you have it, Lady Chai. You needn't worry. Master Chai loves you more than all the world, and he will return. Wherever he may have gone, rest assured we will find him.
Thank you, my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease. I will trust in my husband and await his return.
People load in. You know, Yulmo's nothing like I thought it'd be, but somehow I can't picture going anywhere else. But Chai is a part of it, I suppose. They've been good to me. I only wish there was something I could do to help them. It makes no sense for Master Chai to have left without a word, but even if he had, he would not have done so unobserved. Someone he will have seen something, I'm sure of it. We should split up and inquire about whether anyone saw him leave, or failing that, if they have an idea where he might have gone. I will meet you at the Glory Gate to compare notes later on. Not Ravenna, have you seen Master Chai? Master Chai, why yes. I spoke with him recently, though I recall he was in a rather dour mood. Concerned about numerous neglect of industry, you see? With Lord Warfrey's apparently inexhaustible stores of mule and no great need for money, it's little wonder our business were all but forgotten under his rule. Why had I assured Master Chai that the Boutique of Splendor will do all it can to contribute to the revival of trade here in Newmore, which seemed to satisfy him. He took his leave soon after. Stagnant state of business. A guard, yeah. Looking for Master Chai, are you? Is something amiss? When last I saw him, you seemed ready to collapse from exhaustion. I insisted you rest and catch a breath, and we talked for a while. About his concerns over the city's defenses, among other things. He might not have more than a few valid points. Many of our men are still recovering after your confrontation with Lord Warfrey, and finding General Ranjit in a heap in the middle of a plaza shook us all to the core. The man commanded no small amount of loyalty, and some of our longest-serving soldiers seemed lost without him. Indeed, a number of them left. Not that we blame you, of course. Without you and yours, we would still be blind to the errors of our ways. Anyway, with funding permitting, I propose replenishing our ranks with volunteers from the derelicts in Gate Town. We have a duty to protect not only Yulmo, I see, but the surrounding regions of Colusia as well, and I for one would welcome any man and woman willing to take up arms for that cause. Indeed, I told him as much, and he seemed relieved to hear it. It was on that note that we parted ways. He headed outside, as I recall. The perilous state of Yulmo's defenses. As I said, I suspect he literally went to work doing the mayor thing, and he sees there's a ton of work to do, and I'm the one who has to do it. I recall a man fitting that description. Asked to speak with a poor buggers lately come from Wright. Said he wanted to know the state of things down in the derelicts, and you can be sure we gave him an earful. Lack of food, medicine, clothing, there was plenty to tell. We hunt high and low for whatever we can scavenge, but it's barely enough to fill our bellies. But folk here don't just want to survive, they want to thrive. When he heard that, he started mumbling to himself. Something about finding us work, I think. Fair play to him, though. Not content with having his ears shoot about the derelicts, He asked about the other settlements and all. After that, I can't really say. Looked like he was heading for Gate Town when last I saw him. The exchange has taught you about the poor living conditions of Colusia's downtrodden. Any luck? I got nowhere myself. That sounds like Alvino might have. Ah, there you are. How did you fare? Have you learned anything which might offer a clue as to Master Chai's whereabouts? Interesting. He apparently paid a visit to the Queen Bee as well. They discussed the possibility of granting admission to customers from outside Yulmore, an idea to which the proprietor was surprisingly receptive. Sounds like he got big plans for the place. Yulmore, I mean, not the bee. Perhaps. But the question remains, where did he go after leaving the city? All we know for certain is that Master Chai has shown great concern not only for Yulmore, but its surrounding settlements. It seems logical then that having consulted with those within the city walls, you would wish to do the same to those without. Sylvania, if you would go and make inquiries in Right, I shall do likewise in Stiltide. Gate Town I leave to you, Kaishir. Fair enough. Where should we meet when we're finished? Well, Top Rung would seem to be his most likely destination. Let us reconvene there. With any luck, one of us will have stumbled upon him by then. If not, we will be well situated to continue our search. Paste lot. No, the name doesn't ring any bells, but there was a rather dapper-looking Mistle gentleman here not long ago. Wanted to talk about relations between White and Yulmore, or rather, the lack of them. We lost a great many people to their promises of mule and the chance of a lavish life among the free. And Warfrey thought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men we had left to guard his paradise. He didn't tell you what happened when the Synediers came. Such things are hard to forgive. But Warfrey's gone now and we're curious to see what will come of Yulmore in his absence. That's what I told your friend. Nuzz, was it? I'm sure the others said the same. Not what he wanted to hear, I suppose. Because he left soon after, and that was that. And off to Top Rung. Turns out Master Chai was over in Gate Town too. He spoke to a few of the residents apparently. They told me they'd never seen a posh bloke look so miserable. So he paid visit to both Wright and Gate Town as well, did he? I see. Kashi and I gleaned much the same. He seems determined to salvage what goodwill might yet remain among the settlements of Colusia, the only likely place he has left to go being Amity. Come, if we're quick, we may yet catch up to him. Finally found you. Master Chai? Serenia, Alphino, Kaishir, what are you doing here? We might ask you the same, Master Chai. We've been looking all over for you. Looking for me? Whatever for? Lady Chai has been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappeared without so much as a word and bade us return you to her side. What in the place are you talking about? I left a letter for her in our chambers. Though I suppose she could have overlooked it. But she gets an idea into her head. I can only apologize. No harm done, Master Chai. But since we are here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? We were told you had been elected mayor, and from what we've gathered from the nearby villages, you've been inquiring about the people's grievances. Is it safe to assume you mean to take office? No, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Colusia, that much is true. but I'm by no means sure I'm the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources, and until I've secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor. I see, and you believe that resources can be found here? Indeed, the people's grievances are many, but in the course of my inquiries I have already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans, a man whose counsel might yet make a mayor of me. With respect, such forethought is in itself proof of your suitability. The city needs you, Master Child. I'm certain this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. For what little it's worth, we will vouch for you should you require convincing. We believe in you, Master Chai. I don't know what to say. You don't need to say anything. You got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I wanted was to make it into Yulmore, but that dream is gone now. Burst like a bubble, or a boil more like. Outside of repaying Master Alphino, I haven't a clue what to do with myself. Spent most days in a daze. But you've been running up and down trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. And I reckon you can do it. You got this lot up Mount Gulk, didn't you? How hard could Mayring be? You're going to steer Yuma to a better future, I know it. And I want to help, properly help. Do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work it out on the way. If you let me come with you, that is. You give me entirely too much credit, the lot of you. But I can't deny, it gives me heart. Come then, let us press on together. Thank you, Master Chai. But we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Yuma needs more than a man with good intentions. Which is why I'm here, to find one with the experience needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly? And are you certain he is here in Amity? Renton is his name, and yes he is, or was. I had scarce begun to explain myself and decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Warfrey's father when he was in office. If Ranjit was the mayor's right hand, one might say Renton was the left, and between them they kept Yulmore on the road to prosperity. The city needs more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him. But even if you do, what makes you think he will listen? Before giving chase, might it not be wise to speak with those who know him, here in Amity? They may be able to shed some light on his reason for rejecting your overtures out of hand. Yes, I suppose that makes sense. Perhaps we should start with Twistle then. As I recall, you made a rather favorable impression on him. I'm certain he would be willing to talk to us. Yes. Saved his life, right? According to Master Chai, this Renton fellow occupied a position of considerable influence in the Yumoran leadership. Which begs the question, why did he choose to leave? I reckon Yuma could learn a thing or two from Amity about standing on its own 2 feet. Then again, so could I. I realized it was me who suggested speaking with Twistle, but who's to say he will be any more receptive than Renton? Why should any of them give me the time of the day? That's no way to think. Ignore me. Greetings, friend. And to you, too, Master Chai. I presume you're here to ask after Renton? I couldn't help overhearing your earlier exchange. Oh, yes, well, with Warfrey gone, Yuma wants for a leader. Should no one rise to the challenge, the city could very well collapse. I came here seeking Renton's counsel in the hope we could build a better Yuma together. And that's still my wish. But given how abominably you were mistreated there, I will quite understand if you choose not to help. Worry not, Master Chai. I bear no grudge against you or the people of Yuma. I would not see you suffer for Warfrey's villainy. As you no doubt gathered from your meeting earlier, Renton can be rather uncompromising. He has his principles, you see, and little patience for anyone he deems less committed to their own. Your desire to right the wrongs of your past, of Yuma's past, is quite admirable. but I fear the guilt you bear on the city's behalf works against you. I can see it in your eyes, the way you carry yourself. It goes without saying he sees it as well. You must let those feelings go, Master Chai. Be more assertive, commit to this cause, and prove to him Yulmore has the resolve to change. The resolve to change. I believe he was heading toward Pit 8 when he left. If you plan to go and speak with him, I suggest you be firm and clear in your intentions. Very well, to Pit 8 we shall go. Never not take no for an answer. Nay, not even a maybe.
Well, well, it's you again. Well, I see you've invited your friends. Need them to fight your battles for you, do you?
No, I didn't invite them, as it happens, though they are indeed my friends. Well, not only mine, but every true Yulmoran's. They are the ones who awakened us to the truth, to Lord Vorthry's villainy. The famous warriors of darkness.
Are they now?
Yes, they are. It would be no exaggeration to call them our saviors. We owe much and more to their kindness, but we cannot depend on that kindness forever. To do so would be a little different from entrusting our affairs to Lord Vorthry. Nay, we must learn to stand on our own 2 feet. And I would have them present to witness my attempt.
Hear, hear, Master Chai.
Your sentiments are admirable. Yet admirable sentiments do not a nation make. In my capacity as advisor, I once strove to build a better Yulmore. Gave honest counsel to my superiors, drafted laws for the benefit of one and all.
He at least does no longer seem discarding the idea out of hand.
But in time, my values fell out of favor. There was no need for them in this paradise Vorthry was creating. And so I left my homeland behind. But you, Chai Nuzz, you were content to wallow in indolence under Vorthry's auspices. And so I cannot help but ask myself what manner of nation you intend to build.
I can offer no simple answer to that question. But this much I will say. It is my hope that Yulmore can become a nation which her citizens might freely choose to build together. A great many people, myself included, flocked to Yulmore seeking sanctuary. The alternative being to live in fear and die in pain. It seemed an easy choice. And sanctuary we found. As much food and drink as we could ever want. Secured at the cost of the surrounding villages. Little wonder the people gathered at our doorstep, begging to work among the bonded. The free were blind to it all, of course. Content to, as you say, wallow in indolence. In ignorance. Were I mayor, I would first take stock of the city's resources and see that they were assigned equitably. Our days of reckless consumption are behind us. The distinction between free and bonded died with Vorthri. The needs of rich and poor alike must be considered if our nation is to survive. To which end I would take steps to secure channels for supplies, rekindle relations with nearby settlements, who re-establish industry, reach out to neighboring nations, and the list goes on and on. But I am no ruler, nor even a politician. I am an entrepreneur. My expertise lie in planning and profit. I haven't the knowledge or experience to run a nation. Please, Rendon, will you not help me? Together, we could solve the city's problems. Build a Yulmore for the people.
A Yulmore for the people. I rather like the sound of that. But before I offer you my counsel, I would be certain of your ability to perform the duties of office.
You would?
You ask me to help you solve Yulmore's problems, but first I would see you solve one on your own. Accomplish that, and you will prove both to me and the people that you are a man worth following.